Hi friends, it's me, Ali, your friendly neighborhood Chanel expert. I used to work for Chanel. I don't work for them anymore. I work for myself. But here on my channel, we've talked a lot about the best of the best from Chanel, the items that I've repurchased the most. But today, we are roasting the brand. Welcome to your flop video, Chanel. Today we're talking about some of the worst products I have tried from the brand. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Let's look at my list of items that made me go, thanks, I hate it. And feel free to leave comments down below letting me know what were your biggest product disappointments from the brand. And if you love these products that I'm talking about today, I love that for you. They just did not work for me at all. The first item here is very innocuous. I think it was some sort of factory malfunction. But this is the Crayon Sourcil. This is the sculpting eyebrow pencil. It's the very classic one that has a spoolie and just like the little pencil brush here or pencil side here. Listen, I purchased this and then I want to say 2 weeks later, the spoolie part fell off. Like it came unglued. I don't know what happened. Listen, I'm not particularly rough with my makeup or my eyebrow pencils. I'm not like smacking them around. I don't know what happened. It was literally like 2 weeks tops. And I went to use it and the spoolie part just like, it almost looked like there was no glue. It just fell apart completely. And I was like, what? Like the price of the eyebrow pencil is like 32 US plus tax. And it fell apart after 2 weeks. No merci. That's like absolutely not. So that was pretty crappy. That was the first item that I thought of when I made my little list of complete failures from the brand here. But yeah, that one, it was just really disappointing because how does that happen? It must have been some sort of factory issue where someone forgot to put the glue in properly. No. Next up here is an item that I could not make this work for me at all. I tried to use this on clients a lot. Did not work at all. This is the Chanel Base Ombre à Paupières, the professional eyeshadow base. So that's the caveat here. It's called the Chanel Professional Eyeshadow Base, eyeshadow primer. Baby, there is nothing professional about this primer. It's discontinued. It doesn't exist anymore. I think they've come out with other products since then. I haven't even tried them. They're atrocious. They were just a nightmare. So the description, an innovative base assures long-lasting eyeshadow wear, helps conceal imperfections and brighten the eye area. It's soft and creamy texture, provides all-day wear for eyeshadow, prevents creasing and fading. No. Talc. The talc helps minimize imperfections, blah, blah, blah. Absolute garbage. It's supposed to help your eyeshadow stay? No, it was like applying Vaseline on the eyelids. I have hooded eyes with oily eyes, so I need an eye primer that actually works. For some people, on some clients, this would work. For some people, like it did nothing that it said it would do. It says it's supposed to be long wearing, help crease proof, prevent fading. No, everything just collected like in the eye, just like that. And we were next to NARS, so I would just like sneak over to NARS, grab the primer and do the makeup because it didn't work. Like for some people it did work. Everyone else, for me, like on me, I tried this so many ways. I tried, applying a lot. I tried applying a little. I tried applying some and then powdering and then eyeshadow. It was impossible. Catastrophic product, negative 5,000 out of 10. Would not recommend this product at all. It just didn't work. But it was really weird because it was very inconsistent. For some people, it actually did work. I wonder if you had very dry eyes, maybe it would have worked, but I couldn't really figure out the rhyme or reason. So yeah, that's why it's on the list today, the list of shame. Next up is a perfume, and this is part of the Chance family. You know, Chance You have like the classic Chance, you have the pink one, the green one, the yellow one. It's all like bubbly and sweet and feminine and fresh and just so wonderful. And then several years ago, they came out with a new edition, the orange one, Chance Eau Vive. This is it here. It's fine. So when I think of Chance, I think bubbly, effervescent, light, either like a classic floral, clean signature scent, or a grapefruit champagne girly scent, or a zesty, outdoorsy, warm scent. Just great perfumes. Like that whole collection is wonderful. This one here, it's average at best, mediocre at best. Yeah. Eau Vive is meant to be zesty as well, which I thought was very unnecessary because we already had a zesty Chance with the green one. And this one here is more orange. It has a lot of like blood orange, orange zest, orange rind, but it smells bitter. It smells not like a fresh orange zest. Like a lot of Chanel perfumes have orange in them, but this is just like bitter orange, not fresh. It's woody and musky. And for me, I pick up much more masculine notes. And in my opinion, Chanel Chance has nothing to do with masculine notes or anything like that. So this was just really disappointing. Like you think this is going to be orange and bubbly and zesty like the other Chance perfumes. No, it's masculine, it's musky, it's bitter. And also, I've used up this much of the perfume. It doesn't matter how much I spray. I can spray like half the bottle or this much in one shot. It smells like zero. It smells like nothing on me. So all those notes I'm talking about, I'm just picking up here. When I spray this on my skin, on my clothes, on my hair, anything, it's like invisible. It's like I sprayed water on myself. This is not a dud. It's just this perfume, it's invisible on me. It's like I sprayed air or water. And that's the weird thing about perfumes. Perfumes will react to your skin's pH. And so that's why sometimes your friend can wear a fragrance and it smells amazing on them. And then you go to wear it and you're like, I smell like the inside of a garbage can. It's your skin's natural pH that does that. So Eau Vive, for me, it's a pretty big flop. It was just really disappointing because I just love the Chance series. It's just so fun. And they have all those great commercials. But this one here is the new nose. He's been there for several years now. This is created by Olivier Polge, but his father, Jacques Polge, was the nose for Chanel fragrances before. And I think that Jacques was a much better nose for Chanel, personally. Like he came out with the Chance series, blue for men, Mademoiselle as well, I believe. Like Jacques just came out with so many amazing signature, just amazing perfumes for Chanel and his son. Like the world of noses, the people that create perfumes, it's very like it's Nepo babies. That's really how it is. Like that's how you get a job as a nose. Like your father typically is the one who has the job, and then if you're the son, you get the job. That's sort of how it goes in the nose world. It is changing a little bit, but very slowly. And I'm really sorry, but Olivier Polge is not the nose his father was. Like his perfumes, they just don't work for me. They're just not great. They're not, I don't know. No merci. Olivier also came out with Gabrielle and Le Lion. Gabrielle is okay, but again, I think they thought Gabrielle was going to be this like huge, earth-shattering fragrance. It isn't, it wasn't. And Le Lion on me I smell like an old leather man when I wear that. So it's a huge flop for me. Sorry, it's not for me. Next up is a very interesting item. Like sometimes Chanel comes out with products that are innovative. Like they do come up with a lot of innovative products, and sometimes you're like, I don't know what this is or how to use it. And oftentimes, usually it ends up working really well and it's beautiful, but sometimes something gets lost in translation between the creative mind and then the actual product being used by the customer. Something is disconnected. and this here is no exception. This is the Lip Balm and Powder Duo. Remember this? Was this like 2017, 2018? They had a few shades and it was a little compact. I have a couple, I couldn't find them, but it was a little compact. It had, one side was like a wax, like a lip balm wax, and one side was just pure pigment, like just powder. And you had these little brushes. One looked almost like an eyeshadow applicator, and one just looked like a little eyeshadow brush. And so this was like a multi-use product. I used it on my channel when I first got it. I used it on my lips, my eyes, my cheeks, you know, as like a multi-purpose product. But it did not matter how exfoliated your lips were, how much lip butter, lip balm you added. You could add this much. This dried out your lips so fast and so much because it's literally a dry powder. Like if you just stick a dry powder that you have on your counter and go like this on your lips, it just sucks the moisture out of your lips. And if you have any lines on your lips, it looked so bad. It looked so bad. And you really had to like dig into the lip balm part to really moisturize. Unless you like took some lip balm part, like a lot of the lip balm and a little bit of the powder and mixed it, that way you could get like more balm to powder ratio. That could technically work, but it was just so drying. It was so hard to use. It was so hard for it to be flattering because it just made your lips look so dry. And this came out around the time of like the whole lip filler craze. Remember when like everyone was getting lip filler, lip injections, and it was just really, really popular. Listen, if you had super gonflé lips, like if you had super inflated lips and had zero lines, because a lot of people when they get lip filler, it kind of stretches out the skin, that would have looked good because your skin is just so stretched that there's no wrinkles or lines on your lips. That would have looked good. But on a normal human, I'm sorry, if you have lip filler, you're normal. But you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like the Kylie Jenners with like the giant lips like this. Like if your lips are super stretched out, that would have looked okay because there was no creases, but on everyone else, it just didn't work. And I really wanted it to work because I like the idea of a multi-purpose product. I like the idea of something innovative and new and fun and fresh and interesting. Like I like that, but this just, I like the idea, hated the execution. And yeah, they came out with this and then never again. I don't know if it wasn't a limited edition when it came out. It was permanent, but it stayed on the counter or like, yeah, at the counter for like a year or two, maybe not very long. And then it got pulled because yeah, like the average Chanel client is like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Like it's not a 19-year-old. It's not really young people. And so this product just did not work at all. Huge flop. Last but not least, we have the never-ending parade of red eyeshadows. Chanel's obsession with red eyeshadow started almost a decade ago. It's been almost a decade that Chanel has been trying to make red eyeshadow work, and it isn't going to work, okay? Stop trying to make fetch happen. It isn't happening. In 2016, Lucia Pica joined Chanel, and her and Kristen Stewart came out with all of these campaigns. And at first, I was really unsure of red eyeshadow, as you would be. But I was actually persuaded into getting the Candeur et Expérience palette. That was the first palette with red eyeshadow. And I got also the cream red single Rouge Gorge, I think it was called. And listen, it was beautiful. I still have Candeur et Expérience. It's one of my favorite palettes because I love the neutral mattes. I use the red sometimes, not all the time. And it was shocking seeing just the bold red look, but it was different, it was interesting, and I liked it because I think that there is a time and a place for all the colors, all the looks. That being said, it's been almost a decade, and every year almost every season, they are shoving red eyeshadows down our throats. I don't know what it's going to take for them to understand that we don't want this. Like, listen, I did like red eyeshadow when it came out. Like I said, like every now and then, it's fun. I like all the colors, but not every day. When I go to Holt Renfrew, which is like a very, very high-end department store, you know, it's like a Saks or maybe a Harrods, like it's very high-end. When I go there and I see the clientele at the Chanel boutique, I don't see women with like red eyeshadow plastered like they're a Ninja Turtles face mask. You know, I don't see that. So I don't know what they're doing or what they're thinking. Like they are really, really, really trying to make red eyeshadow the hot new thing. And I don't think it's working. It's not working for me. Personally, no merci. It's really, really not. It's exhausting. And the thing is, like, I own many of these red eyeshadow palettes, like some of the dark reds or dark plums. I own a lot of them. I don't want to get any more. I don't want any more. A lot of what we're seeing is just, it doesn't even matter what collection or season or whatever it is. You can just guess that it's going to be dark red matte eyeshadow, and you're probably right. It's just so boring. It's not even shocking or interesting anymore. It's just so boring because you can just guess. You're like, yeah, red, okay. Of course it's red. And by this point, whenever they're coming out with these products, it just looks like the factory floor rejects. Because when you come out with eyeshadow, you don't just come out with one color. Like you're going to do a gradient of like lighter, darker, warmer, cooler. You're going to have a lot of different variety before you actually come out with a palette. And so these new face and eye palettes that they came out with literally just look like the predecessors that they've come out with for the past almost decade, and just picked an offshoot of this one, an offshoot of that one, and just like slapped it together and sold these jumbo face and eye palettes. And I like the idea of a multi-use face and eye palette. I hate the execution. I don't want red eyeshadow. I just don't. If I did, I could use any of the ones that I already have, and I don't. So anyway, those are my hot takes on Chanel. Thanks. I hate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't get too offended by my hot takes and my opinions today. Yeah, I can't wait to hear from you in the comments, and let me know which products you tried from the brand that just like total flops, like just impossible to make work for you. I'm very curious to see what you have at home or had at home that hopefully you returned that you just couldn't make work for you. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. So thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.